Here we have Perseverance episode 1 and 2. We are today though going to play a few rounds of Perseverance 3 because it's coming out on Kickstarter.
Yes, so we'll be taking you through a tabletop simulator one-round playthrough here.
Yes.
For Perseverance episode 3.
Yes, so Perseverance episode 3 and 4 are going out on Kickstarter. So in this one, it's more focused on engine or tableau building, dinosaur placement, and a few other things. And apparently there are some twists for episode 4, which at the time of filming, we don't know yet. So
Yes.
exciting for that.
Yep, but this game does use that same dice worker placement and area majority engine,
Yes.
which you've seen in Perseverances 1 and 2.
Let's have a look at the tabletop simulator version of it. So this is not final, rules not final, artwork's not final, and obviously this is, again, tabletop simulator versions. So just have a look. So this is what it looks like. This is the whole board. You can see that there's the main board in the middle there, and then a player board. So me and Tarrant over here.
Yes, and we are playing the two-player versions, so you'll see some yellow components from time to time. That is the what's called the center or the dummy player.
Designer is Richard Armand Thomas van der Ginstein, Victor Peter and David Terci. Published by Mind Clash Games, who has been sponsoring this video, so thank you very much for that. In this game plays 1 to 4 players.
So we'll zoom in here and show you in brief what we're looking at here. It is a follow-on from Perseverance Season 2 or series, what is it? Episode 2.
Yes.
So now we are down here. We have the island as it has always been. So we were castaways from a cruise ship on this island, which happens to have fantasy dinosaurs in it.
Ooh.
And in each case, we're playing as a leader trying to get followers. So this is all about getting people onto our side by doing cool stuff and having them join us instead of someone else. So down here is the
City.
the city. Yes, this is where all the dice worker placement is going to happen and where a lot of the core actions occur. In here in the middle are what's called landmarks. They belong to the same districts as the cities. So there'll be an area control. If I just scroll this down a little bit, there'll be an area control in pieces of your color, really covering everything in a rectangle from these landmarks down to these cards beneath the board. And then going further up, we have spaces to be explored. So there's dinosaur temples out here. If you've played episode 2, this here is the Shield Head Temple, which was discovered at the end of episode 2.
Exciting.
And we will, from there, be exploring out into all these various sites up here at the top of the board. Many things going on the player board, so we are domesticating dinos now. This will be really cool in the final version. You'll see you'll have dinos and then you'll be able to put saddles onto them to indicate that they've been tamed. In this particular tabletop simulator version, a white-based dinosaur is untamed, and then one that shows your base color is one that you have tamed. And now these are kind of available as worker placements as well. There are some artifacts up the top, which are their effects on different player boards are unique to each individual player. And we have an area here called the ranch, which is your big tableau building location. That'll be a series of actions and bonuses that you can build up for yourself and activate on many turns. So each player will get 8 turns per game. Only 8 turns. You can do a fair bit on your turn. And in this one-round playthrough, we're going to take you through 3 turns per player. That should be enough for us to show you pretty much everything that you can do across the course of the game.
Almost everything.
Yes. Every turn, you will, if I scroll down here, there are some dice down the bottom of the screen. You'll take one of these dice and place it into a dice placement space up here in the city. And you'll get to resolve 2 out of the 3 different actions present in that district of the city. You can do a third if you place a dinosaur. We don't have those dinosaurs early on in the game. The thunder horns are a bit harder to get. Or instead of doing that, you can go exploring up here on the map, place one of your dinosaurs, fight the dinosaur that's out there and explore it and get some bonuses. So either of those options is called your primary action. And then you get a secondary action, which can be to activate one row of your ranch and everything you've built up there, or to activate the ability on one of these offices by spending some of your influence that's there. So several things you'll be able to put together in each turn, one primary, then one secondary. There's a couple of end of turn things, and then it would go to the next player. So with that in mind, let's get into play.
Let's.
Alright, so I'm taking the first turn. First things first is my primary action. Now we've rolled these dice. There's 2 in each of our colours, including the dummy colour, and there's 2 in the neutral colour. Both of mine show this notebook icon, which mean I can choose any of these, but it influences the area control side of things. And I want to choose my own. But it means I'm limited to placing it onto a notebook space. So I'm going to go over here to downtown, and this is a notebook space, so I'm going to place the die here. That now enables me to do 2 out of the 3 market square actions. So these are called the zone actions. I'm going to take the top action, which simply lets me get 2 out of those 3 resources, which is food, scrap, and the island resource. So I'm going to take an island resource and a scrap. And there'll be tokens in the game, but here we're using these counters. Then for my second action, so we zoom in here, I'm going to use this one down the bottom. So I can spend a scrap to gain 2 supply and 1 untamed raptor. So let's go back over to my board and have a look at how we do that. 2 supply. Supply is these cubes here. And I talked about activating the ranch before. You need supply to do that. So I'm going to take this 2 supply, and I'm going to choose to put 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom, like so. So I can only spend them from the rows they're in. Then I get a new untamed raptor. So I'll come up to the top of the board. I will grab a raptor from here. It's untamed, so it's white. Come back to my player board, and it goes into my enclosure. And there we have it. That is the end of my primary action. Now I'm going to move to my secondary action. My options are to activate a ranch row or to activate a perk. I'm going to do a perk. So to do a perk, I pick any one of the offices. And there's also one next to the wilderness. If I pop up near the top of the board, you can see the captain over here on the right. And what I need to do is take back one of my influence to use the perk ability, which is this one shown here in the bar. And I'm going to use the Chief of Security, so I'll take this away. And I'm going to use this effect, which is I can spend an island resource to place a dinosaur in the wilderness. And so placing a dino in the wilderness, it's the same as if I took this primary action next to the wilderness here, except it's going to cost me an island resource to do it. So let's go to my board. I'll spend 1 island resource, and I'm going to need a tamed shield head to take this action, or a tamed dino, but in this case a tamed shield head. So I'll take this one, and I'll head back up to here, and I need to pick a site that I wish to explore where I place this shield head. And it's got to be adjacent to the shield head temple. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to place this one here. So that's the first part, placing the dino. Next, I need to do combat. So I am trying to capture the shield head that's in here in this location, at location 3. Now back on my board, this card tells me how to engage in combat and how to capture a shield head. I can either use 2 of my rangers and injure them, or I can use a tamed raptor or greater. Now I don't have a tamed raptor or greater, so I'm going to have to injure 2 of my rangers. So how I do that is I move a ranger to my infirmary to injure it, and I'm going to I've always got one option, which is shown down here. I have a leader. My leader is a special type of ranger, and instead of injuring someone else, I can make my leader tired. So I'm going to do that. My leader is going to go into my tired box. That means I don't have to heal it, I just get it back at the end of the round.
That's good because you can only have 2 injured soldiers.
Yes.
And if you are to injure another one, you just lose them.
Correct.
Yeah, that's good.
We go back here. I have now captured this shield head. It comes down to my enclosure. So I've got a bunch of untamed dinos here. And now the next step is I pick 2 of the matching wilderness cards, and I can either put a settlement on the top half or resolve the bottom half. Up here are my options. So I'm going to draw 2 of these cards and flip them. And I get to choose which one I want. Let's zoom in and see what these do. Various effects. I'm going to choose the ancient site. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take it down, and I'm going to put it in there. And my 2 options are to put a settlement on the top half or to take the bottom half, and I'm going to do that. So the effects on the bottom half, I get this, I can get that specific artifact shown on the left. So that's over here on my board. I take that artifact, I drop it into its matching slot.
Now underneath it is your bonus.
Yes, I get the benefit that I cover here. If we zoom in, this is a die replacement. So I'll pop that in here. You may recognize this from prior perseverances. I get to pop my die in place of one of the white dice, and it goes on the side that it was matching. So I'm going to do the backpack one, put that there, and move that out of play. So that's one of my bonuses. And then my other bonus is to place a settlement down in the city. So I shall take a settlement, and I'm going to add it to the expansion board here. Falls off something there. There we have it.
It's not expansion, it's expansion board.
Yes.
It's part of the base game.
The expansion, the expansion district.
Yes. That's a bit of a for area control, that settlement.
The third step of any turn is to do with adventures, which I haven't unlocked yet. And then I retrieve my leader because it was only tired, so it goes back to my collection. And I've got nothing else. That is the end of my turn.
This is my first turn, but first I'll do this for you, Tarrant. You mentioned
Yes.
that you were there, then we need to flip this.
Yes, this is a special 2-player part of the setup. That one is sort of pre-half explored, and then it flips immediately. Once it's there, you can see it's one of the yellow shield heads that's done it.
Yeah.
Right, so it's your turn.
Yeah. So my turn, I will get. It's almost always good to get the die of your own color, unless if you really need the action, right?
Depends where you want to get the majority, right?
Yeah, that's true as well. So I will go there, and then I will put this backpack here.
Yes.
And I will do this action. So I will do the top action first, and then I'll do. So again, you need to pick 2 out of the 3. So I'll do the top one here. This one here to take 2 new rangers to my board and heal 2. In my board here, I will take 2 of them here. So just from this bag in this TTS,
Yep.
I've got 3. Whee! And then I heal 2 now. I only have 1 injured in infirmary. So I will just put 1 here and wasting the second one. Then this one is the adventure. I'm going on an adventure, Tarrant.
So you're going to
Can't stop me.
Start an adventure.
I will start an adventure. So here it is. There are 3 that you can choose from. So there's see you later gator. It's like see you later alligator, but it's gator.
Yeah.
There's swamp giant, and there's ancient and knowledge. So I will pick the ancient knowledge.
And these may change. They're still
Yes, of course. And then I will place it here. So you see this half circle that would match the half circle on your player board. And that's how I put it there. And as requirement for my adventure here, you can see at the top, so 2 shield head.
Actually, two dinos.
2 dinos, sorry. Yep. And now I will put, I only have 1 here. Tame 1, that is. So here we go, I'll put it here. Now the second one, now as part of my starting setup, I have already 1 artifact here.
Yes, we drafted some setup resources.
Yes, so it was here, and then that means that my leader is also...
It's a rider.
Thank you.
It's riding a shield head and counts as a tamed shield head as well as a leader.
Yeah. And then I put one soldier because the other one is, you know, basically riding the other one.
Yes. So it's quite an expensive,
quite
an expensive one. This one, but the rewards are rich for it.
And there are the symbols as well that is going to be activated later.
Yes.
That is my primary action. Now my secondary actions, I'm going to do something similar to Tarrant. So I will actually take one of my influence cube. I'm going to put it there in my area first. And this is the actions that I get to do.
Yes. So that is spend a food to upgrade a ranch slot and activate it immediately.
Yeah. So I will spend my one food here. So it's tap here, one food spent. And then I will grab one of these. So I'm going to quickly show you this. There's a few options here. I'm going to take this here before camp. I will take this one here and then put in my, what is it called? Ranch.
Yes.
I will put it in the middle. Now, before I put it here, I'm going to show you what's underneath there. So the bonus is getting 2 soldiers, a ranger.
Yep, so the top half is what you get when you activate that ranch, and the bottom half is what you get when you upgrade it. You'll be covering the influence one, but you'll be getting the 2 rangers. Which
I will get here and then put on my board I've got. I've recruited a lot of them now. Haha.
You gained a very large army very quickly.
I'm sure they will come handy. Yes, there you go.
You got them all out very quickly.
And including in the perks as well is activating the cards I just placed. So I'm getting a untamed shield head, which is right here in the top of the board.
Yep.
And then just putting it on my board for now, and then I will also gain these resources, which is 1
glowberry and 1 island resource.
Now let's get back to adventure.
Yep, so you finish the secondary action. Now you resolve your current step of the adventure.
I will now activate the first part of it on the above this token here, which is putting my influence cube onto 1 leader, and I'll put it back here. Hello, back to chief mate. Now look at this one. I will move this one here, but in the middle is where I have to roll a die. So here's the damage die. I will get injured if I roll
anything less than a 7.
So that means that I will get injured anyway. There's no point in rolling, but I will roll it.
As I say, this was a very difficult adventure that you picked first up, but you had the resources to do it.
Yeah. So I get the damage, and what I can do is either injure one of my soldiers or ranger. But in this case, I will injure my leader. But because it's my leader, I don't actually injure it. It just gets tired, which is actually flipped here, like so.
Yes, it doesn't go to the tired box because it can't come off that card until you finish the adventure. Okay, my second turn. I want to take the construction action. And the only dice that are available there are the loudspeaker and the hammer. So we'll go down, we'll see that I do not have any of those in my colour. So there's a couple options there. I could use someone else's die. That would cost me either 3 points or 2 glowberries. Or I could change the colour of the side of my own die. That would also cost either 2 glowberries or 3 points.
Probably still worth it rather than using other people's die.
Well, it depends. You could put their die somewhere that's not going to help their...
That's true, yeah.
But there's also a neutral die, and I'm going to take the neutral die.
Easy option.
Oh, it's there, so...
You got lucky, Tarrant.
Yes. So I'll go in there, and then now, down here at the workyard, I can take 2 different actions. If we look in on here, I can place a settlement in the wilderness, and I can do some stuff with ranches, which you saw before. So I'm going to start with the top one. I'm going to place a settlement in the wilderness. So I'll come to my board and grab a settlement, and then we'll head up to the wilderness, and I can pick any one of these visible diamond spaces. And I want to go on here because if I look at the bonus here, I can saddle some shield heads when I activate them. So that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So I shall go there.
That is pretty cool. I mean, the whole game is... I mean, I wish that is true. But that'd be scary as well. It's like Jurassic Park.
Yes,
Anyway.
before it all went wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my second one, I can spend an island resource to put down a ranch. I don't get to immediately activate it the way you did.
Yeah.
But I can put down a ranch and I can put down a supply. So come to my board. I will spend an island resource. We will go up to these. And I'm going to grab the excursion hub. And I'm going to put it here. So let's just replenish this first. Like so. Under here, the bonus was 3 points. You can see that under there. So I'm going to gain 3 points. 1, 2, 3.
And this is how you win.
Points is how you win. Likes is how you win. And I'm going to put that up here as my extra supply. So that's my primary action. Then as my secondary action, I'm going to activate this bottom ranch row. So I can spend 0, 1, or 2 settlement supply to activate 1, 2, or 3. So I'm going to spend 2 supply, activate all 3 of these. So this one gives me 3 treatments. So I will get these 2 ranges back and waste the third one. Then for the second part of this ranch action, I get 2 glowberries and I can tame a dino. Now I do have to pay the cost of that. And I want to get a raptor. I want to move up. So the cost here is to make that little spiral thing is tired. So I need to make one of my soldiers tired, which is fine. I'll get it back. And pay 1 food. I like the view of that. It's like my soldier is running around trying to
capture
the speedy little raptor.
Yeah.
Right?
Aren't they like dangerous in Jurassic Park? They're like the one that's like the little ones, the one that's like in a bunch of them, like wolf, and they're like all of them are dangerous.
They are all dangerous. That was the moral of that story.
Yeah, that's the moral of it. Oh dear.
Right, and then my third one is I get 1 point for every settlement I have out on the wilderness. So if we go back to here, we have the settlement I put out there this round and the settlement that I had in setup. So I get 2 points for that. 1, 2. And that's it. I get my tired workers back. I advance to my next round and it is your turn.
Now my turn. I won't be able to do everything that I'm meant to do, but I'm going to show you anyway what will happen, what could have happened or what should happen to make my adventure going smoothly. But this is a playthrough, so I'm going to show you still. So I'm going to take my die color, my only one, which is the megaphone, which I'm going to put it in this expansion board or part of the area. And I will do the top action here, which is activating one of my space in the ranch, which is gaining 1 food. It might sound feeble, but I really need that food. So here we go. Up 1 food. I just need that 1 food. And the second one, I will do the bottom one here. Pay 1 food. So remember that feeble 1 food? I really need them. Alright. Bye-bye food. Easy come, easy go. Place my settlement now. And then I will place my influence in the officer below that settlement.
Yes, so that little square bracket thing refers to it all being in the same district.
Yes, thank you. So the settlement is only on this area, not on the top. Take 1 house from the bag.
Cute.
Sorry, this is not it.
The house comes from a big house.
I know, it's so cool, right? I have 1 house from this, and I will place it here. I want in this one as well. All right. And then I'll put my cube. It was like too early for that, and I'll put it here. My chief engineer. So this is to do with area control, and that's my primary action. Now I resolve my adventure and my secondary action.
Yes, in the other order.
That's right. My secondary action, I will again activate my middle one. This one, remember this one? Let's do this again. So I will gain the resources first, the glowberry and the island scrap.
Island resource.
Sorry, this is scrap and this island resource. And let's get the dino.
Yep, untamed shield head.
Untamed shield head it is.
And you could spend that supply to activate a second one and maybe get another food.
I'm gonna gonna try it. Famous last word. I think I might need the food. I was complaining about the food, yet I did it twice. I came back for more food. I'm hungry, alright? Yes. So that's my second reaction. Now my adventure. Now this is what I was gonna say. So this is what I need to resolve. I get the first one here, which is 1 glowberry and 1 point. Woo! Finally get 1 point. 1 point and 1 glowberry. And with this part of the action, it says here wilderness 6. And then I get to put either one of those 2 artifacts. But
you do not have a settlement in Wilderness 6.
I do not have. So I'll show you this. So Wilderness 6 is located here. Now you seen earlier in the round, Tarrant went to Wilderness 3, which then flips Wilderness 5. Now this Wilderness number 1 has not been explored yet, so I cannot possibly get to 6. So I'm not doing that action. So I will not be able to put the artifacts aside. And this moves there.
And it goes over what is now 2 damage rolls.
I know. Oh. Roll. 4.
So the first one was less than 4 would be damage, so you're safe.
Yep. And the second one has less than 2. 6.
It's a 6. So they all come back healthy.
Yay!
So that adventure is now complete. You move it away from the top of your board.
But I get to activate this.
Oh yes, sorry.
Thank you. I want my bonus. Thank you very much. So I will place an extra tile for my ranch. I will take Dino Whisperer. I am now a Dino Whisperer. And I will put it on this bottom. Now, by covering it, I will get the bottom bonus, which is 3 points.
Yes, and that one has a pretty handy bonus there. It's free taming of a dino, as long as the temple of that dino has been explored.
Yes, this one here. Yep.
Yes.
Now this goes away, but I have my leader back. Hello.
Yep, the leader was tired, so it doesn't go to the infirmary. Yep.
This comes back as well. And this goes away.
Yep, you do keep it in case you get to score it off combos again, but it goes off the track.
There you go. That is my action.
Alright, third turn for me. I am going to do the 5th option, which is not placing a die, it's placing a dino in the wilderness. It has to be a saddled dino, a tamed dino, so I'm going to take my newly tamed raptor and head out to... So one place that's available is the Raptor Temple. So normally only 1 dino can go in each of these spaces, but any number can go in the Raptor Temple. And if I zoom in on here, it only needs to be a shield head, but these couple of arrows mean it can be anything above a shield head as well. So my raptor is fine here. So I am at a different type of space. This is the Raptor Temple. Now I need to capture this raptor, which means I need to do the normal raptor combat. So let's have a look at the combat costs for a raptor. I would need to injure 1 and defeat and lose a 2nd ranger. Or I would need a Thunderhorn, which I don't have.
Yeah.
1 ranger injured, 1 ranger gone.
Brave soldier, you've done well.
Yes. Alright, so I gain a raptor. Now, this is the Raptor Temple. It has an infinite number of raptors. So I'll just take a raptor from the bag and add that to my enclosure. And we grab the Raptor Temple.
Yay!
The Raptor
That's
Temple
awesome.
Goes into play. And now that means you can, with that ranch effect you just got, you can saddle raptors for free. Which is pretty good for you.
Yeah.
But I also can now because I will get 3 points and this artifact. So 3 points, 1, 2, 3. And this artifact, which covers up the cost of taming raptors for me.
Nice.
And incidentally, there are end of game points for how many of these artifacts you get as well. So the more you get, some good points at the end.
So how many temples are there?
So the Shielded Temple begins on the board, and then there are 3 other temples, 1 for each of the dino types.
And then they become available. When they're available, then
They certainly become a lot easier to get. A number of things become available. Another thing which becomes available here is this is the first placement we've made in the jungle. And as a result of that, the Jungle Adventures become available. So
Nice.
this one is gone. And we flip over the Jungle Adventures. And these are available for everyone. But they generally have a higher cost and require, you can see up here in the corner,
This is part of
requires a Thunderhorn.
Yeah, this is the adventure that you can do.
So that's my main action. Then I am going to take the Chief Steward's action. So I'm going to use this perk. I'll take away this cube, return it to my bag. And what this effect is, it allows me to retrieve one of my tamed dinos from the board. That's what this back arrow means. And I can do a heal, and I can start an adventure.
Nice.
So, thank you, Raptor. You've done your job. Now come back home.
You're welcome. I don't know what that would sound like.
I can heal this one, and then I can go on one of these awesome new adventures that I just unlocked.
Nice.
And I want to be a dino catcher. I see some good ways of getting dinos here.
Wilderness 12 though.
Wilderness 12.
Wilderness 12.
If you look over here, you see Wilderness 12 is
not
this
too bad.
one here. It's a long path, but it's within reach.
I'll make sure I won't do that action then to help you.
Yes, that sort of gives me something to go for next round. So I will grab that adventure, replenish it off the deck.
That's the whole deck, Tarrant.
Yeah, that's okay.
It doesn't matter.
And I shall put this down here. And the cost to go on this adventure is a tamed raptor and 2 others.
That's okay,
So
you have it.
I brought back my tamed raptor, so there we go. And 2 others, I shall send my leader and one of my... I'm going to hang my leader back, actually, in case I want to do something cool with that
Sure.
character later. And there we go, that's my secondary action. So now I go straight on to completing this adventure.
Effect.
So I get 2 glowberries and a thunderhorn. So I'll get the 2 glowberries and I'll take a thunderhorn.
Nice.
So expensive to tame. See here, it's not too bad. Island and 2 glowberries, so I've got enough to tame it.
Yeah.
And once I've got a thunderhorn tamed, among the various things I could do with it is over here, I could place one on one of these spaces if it's open, and it would let me take all 3 actions instead of just 2.
So you
value
mentioned
in having those thunderhorns.
this is your 3rd action, and you mentioned 8 turns total in the game, and you can see that this will escalate, and it's like now a lot of actions on your turn. And to tame it, you can't just do it like that. You have to take the action which is on the main board and various actions.
So now it's time to see if this causes any injuries. Well, the number is 7, so of course it is going to. So I'm going to injure one of my rangers. You'll see the infirmary, if I just scroll down, the infirmary can house rangers and dinos cost 2 heals to fix up.
And that can be upgraded.
Yes.
You can actually remove that bottom part.
Yes, it is this artifact here.
Yeah,
Would
it's
allow
the
it
bonus.
to upgrade that.
Yes.
So I shall advance this marker here, hopefully grab some more dinos next round, and that's the end of my turn.
Tarrant, I'm gonna do something slightly cool. Not slightly cool, but
My last turn was cool.
yeah, that was really cool. So this is like even cooler. No, I'm kidding. So this is just showing you how the area control takes into shape, like why do you need that area control?
Yes.
And so I will take out none of these are my dice, so I can spend 2 glowberry to use. Now Tarrant used the white dice before, and that is for free because that is the neutral die, while the yellow one, which I'm about to use, is the dummy colors die. So like pretend that this is another player's, I would pay 2 glowberries, so I have 7. So I've got plenty of them, plenty of those. I will take this particular one, to place it here. Now this is what I'm talking about. So whenever there will be 2 dice, this resolve at the end of my turn, but whenever there's 2 dice here, which is the number of player, then something gets triggered and resolved, which we'll talk to later. So I'll put it there, and I will do these 2 actions. So this one and this one. The first one, I will put my city somewhere.
Your settlement.
So my settlement somewhere in the city. Settlement
Thing.
pile here.
Yes.
Looks really cool. So I will put this one here. Yep. So see, I have two. Well, I have one settlement and then color my die. And then I have the second one here, which is paying 1 food. Remember that food that I was complaining about? That comes handy.
Very handy.
So this food here, which lets me put another settlement. This we've seen before. So I'm just quickly grab this settlement from here and I will put it in here. Okay?
Yep.
And placing my influence cube on this officer. So, which is the chief engineer, as indicated here.
So those two actions have to be done in different districts, which you've shown there.
Yes, sir. Yes, so it has to be different districts. Now, my secondary action is activating this action here. So I will take my cube, and I will activating it. I'm activating this landmark here, and
This
getting
perk, which is to get a landmark.
with the cost of 1 shield head dino and a scrap. Back on my board, I will pay this one.
Yep.
Zoink! Just throw it there somewhere. Somebody will catch it.
And 1 scrap.
And 1 scrap. I have 0 scrap. This is like maximizing this too. Once again, this is a lot of settlement building for me in this round. I get to put 1 in my landmark, which I will place here. Now the benefit of this one is that to activate my ranch, I only need to remove 1 supply to activate 3 of them for the rest of the game. So if in the future turn for the rest of the game, I could remove this and I activate this one, and this one. So the whole row.
And if you can see on those landmarks, and you can see the landmarks that are on the board now at the start of the game, they all have some ongoing benefits. And just off to the side on the right of the board, there are some end of game scoring ones that will come onto the board a little bit later.
Yeah, it looks so juicy. Woo! Alright, now that is my turn and my secondary action. Now we resolve this effect. So there are 2 dice there, number of players 2, and we get Eric. Also we counted, I have 2 and you have 1, and the dummy player has got 1. Sorry, I have got 2. So
the first part is counting all pieces of your colour in the city district and the landmarks above it.
This one here.
It counts settlements, it counts dice. There's a spot there for leaders. You can see in the top right corner, that little circle. If there'd been a leader there, that would have counted.
This one.
And if you put a thunderhorn with your saddle on it, that would have counted as well.
So we go back to here, go to the left hand side of the board, and that is called assembly scoring.
Yes, so these are progressive tiles. The first one, the winner gets 3 points, second place gets a supply, third gets 0, and ties are friendly. So you and the dummy player
gets
will
3
both
each.
get 3 points. You
And
don't
just
count.
me.
You don't count the dummy player's score.
So just me get 3.
Yes. And in this case, ties are ultra friendly, so we don't skip over second place. I'm second. I get 1 supply.
All right. So that's that. Now same thing happened here. So me and the dummy player is first place, which then will get this. So
this is a whole objective that gets scored, and you score the entire points if you are winning, or half the points if you're coming second. So I just took my cube off there. I could have been equal winning here.
Yeah.
Although you might have jumped in front with the
you
city
never
action
know, you
anyway.
never know, yeah.
And instead I get nothing. And you're going to score everything you've got in the whole city.
Yeah. So it says here, per city I've got 1 point. Per dice I've got 2 points. Let's have a look at the main board again. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 settlement in the city.
Yeah.
And I have 2 green die.
Yes, so that's 8 points. So you got 11 points out of that entire assembly.
It's not too bad. 8 points.
That's very good. You leapt to the lead.
Now I'll take this die and roll them and then put it here.
Yep, so they go back into the pool.
And I will add more of the dummy player's cube in here.
Yep, so the
and
dummy
house.
player gets 1 more cube, 1 more settlement.
Yep.
And we advance the tile on the assembly.
Now things getting harder. So the influence there and then 1 settlement here. Sorry, it's not locked in this tabletop here first, and there you go.
Yep.
That'll do.
And the assembly scoring board, we advance the tile to the next one. And there you have it. You advance your adventure marker, and that is the end of your third turn. And so that is the game. That is 3 out of the 8 turns that we would each have, and we've seen almost everything that goes on. So as these fill up, there'll be more and more assemblies, and the scores will become more and more rich. As we keep expanding out here, we get better and better dinos, better locations to go and search, better adventures to go on. These scoring objectives will start to come out.
I think we've shown most of the actions. So either on your turn, you either put the dice, or your die, or put the dino.
Yes, there is also a goal card. So each of us has a private goal card. It gives us an objective to go and chase up at the top. It gives us some area majorities that we're trying to chase. And at the end of the game, the shared goal at the bottom, that leader, that officer is going to score one more time for everyone. So you know at least one of them that's going to score again, and you want to build up on that. And even though this is an online version, it's still very much a prototype. A lot of the figures and standees you've seen here are prototypes, so there'll be minis for all of the leaders and soldiers and leader riders. There'll be different minis for each of the dinosaurs that fit with the theme of this story. The different temples that we place out for the
Raptor, Thunderhorn, and Orange Jaw.
Yep, they'll all be different designs as well.
Yes, definitely. So expect better, more and better.
And yes, there we go. That is Perseverance, episode 3.
That's it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I don't know if the box is going to be that big. I should not expect less. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I know nothing about that. And please do check the project page. We'll put the link somewhere below so you can have a look there. What's going on? If the box is going to be that big, what dinos will you get? Very exciting, Tarrant.
Yes.
If you've been enjoying it and it's been useful, please hit the like button, subscribe if you like, we really appreciate it, and have an awesome day. See you next time.